Okay, so let me talk about one I saw. It's Hellbound. Normally we don't do episodics, but I didn't know this was an episodic when I went in because it was like I'm a third way in, and they're running the credits, and I'm like, what? And then I realized, okay, I'm watching an episodic, and this is a cool one. It's from South Korea. It's from the creators of Train to Busan, and it's called Hellbound. And what I like about it is I think this is the next Walking Dead in a way, where it's not about it's the impact of this story is very broad. And so just simply the scene opens with a guy sitting at a diner. He's looking at his clock, or the time on his phone. It hits 3 o'clock, and at 3 o'clock, these three hulking demons show up out of nowhere, like through a dimensional portal, and basically and promptly beat the guy to a pulp, steal his soul, and then leave a smoldering carcass behind. And the thing is like most supernatural thrillers, they take place in the dead of night. No one's around. And in this case, the attack took place in broad daylight and in front of dozens of witnesses who captured everything on their cell phones. And so now it takes this demonic attack and then bronze it. And we find out, is that this attack was planned in the sense of the guy who died received a vision from an angel 3 days before saying, you're going to die and go to hell in 3 days at 3 o'clock. And so what happens is a single mother with two children, she gets visited by the same demon, told in 3 days, you're going to die, go to hell. And so it brings up all these religious questions and brings up religious people out of the woodwork. There's a chairman a pastor who basically figured what was happening out. It was the fact that the people who are dying are people who committed horrible crimes, and that they had all been told that they were going to die. And then now that this woman has come forward and they have footage of this demon talking to them, says, tell you what, I'll give you 3 billion won, Korean dollars, to let us film you getting killed by demons. And then she agrees because at least that money will go to her children. And now this involves a lawyer who has to negotiate the deal, make sure the kids get paid. There's also a police officer whose daughter is hooked up with this pastor. And then his wife died brutally from a brutal murder. And the guy who did it got away, and so now there's, is he next? And then it gets into some really broad religious questions now, because now that there's demons out there killing people, this kind of proves the existence of God. And now these religious groups are kind of claiming to know what's going on, and they start doxing people who are not fully on board with this. And so I saw the first. I guess it's three. I saw the first episodes of the 6-part series, and I'm totally hooked. This is just really incredible. And I will say, by the time I got to the third episode, it goes in some really really interesting, bizarre directions that are pretty cool. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but you've got to see this one.
Yeah, I actually watched most of the first episode before my computer died, and then so I couldn't see the rest, and then I found out you were writing the review, so I didn't finish it because I had to get on to other things. But I am hooked just off of what I saw. Very intriguing concept, and I think is this so this is it's a South Korean production and it's subtitled. Is this going to be available on American Netflix?
It's actually a Netflix original, so it'll be on Netflix. Yeah,
excellent.
And we could talk all we want about subtitles, but do it.
Oh, I love it. I mean, one of my favorite things on TV ever is Dark, and it's this German production, and it's a time travel epic, but subtitled in English, or you can hear it dubbed. But it's just absolutely astounding, and you can find it streaming as well. But it's I like the best from around the world. Just give it to me.
I think when I got to the third episode, I had an idea of where it was going, and then the third episode just kind of blew everything out of the water, and you get to see a glimpse of what's really happening here. you get a little more understanding of what these demons are, and then of course there's something a lot more sinister going on, and like I said, I got flashbacks, or I got the feels that I got when I first started watching The Walking Dead.
Excellent.